I've gone through my share part of problems, you know. I had to sleep in the train station for like a week or so. Yeah,
You slept in a train station?
Yeah.
1 week for working in China, you were actually sacked.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So we went to the agent, and the agent was like, "Man, Lucius, I can't help you anymore.
May I have your...
I can work with you again.
Yeah, I don't want you working for my company anymore." So
attention, please.
I gave you all the materials you needed, but your class was so bad. Your pronunciation is bad.
Show starts in...
When you're starting ESL, never look at the money. Never look at the money. Look at the experience you're going to get at that point.
2, 1.
Why do I try? Why do I try?
Why don't you tell me why I can't sleep at night?
Sit down.
Why do I try?
So give me a seat, so sit down.
Why don't you tell me why I can't sleep at night?
Yeah, that's a superstar from...
Why do I try? Why do I try?
Why don't you tell me why I can't sleep at night?
Why do I try? Why do I try?
Alright guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kweku Sikeni Abrante. All that I do is that I speak to people in the diaspora working abroad, that specifically teachers. Today I'm going to speak to a brother from Kenya, a Kenyan ESL teacher who has been abroad, he's traveled a lot. So he's going to share with us his experience. And today he told me, I need to get you a cat. You have been having the cat yourself in the house. They have taken you out. So today he brought me here, A for the cat, and I have this cat here. And what actually motivated you to, start ESL?
Yeah, my motivation at first, when I started ESL, I didn't have that passion, because whenever you're starting something new, it's difficult, and according to the circumstances I had to face at that time, I didn't have that passion. But with time, you start getting better at what you do, and then the passion kicks in. You start seeing, oh, I've changed. Like one of the kids speaking skills, this guy came to class, couldn't say even a word in English, and then maybe after an year, you find that this kid can speak in English and communicate well. One person who made me like the major push was my mom, and she helped me a lot in my journey to China. She's the one who paid for everything. Wow. She convinced me like it's a good idea. Yeah, so she convinced me to try out China as a ESL teacher. So I decided, let me try out. It's better to try than not to try at all. That was way back in 2016. Yeah.
2016. So you went to China in 2016?
The plans were made in 2016. Okay. One thing people don't know is that you don't just decide like, I'll go to China and then everything is smooth and you just go to China. No, there's a whole lot of process that comes, with visa requirements, all that. It's a whole lot of process before you go. So for me, I started in 2016 at around May, and I went to China around 2017 September. So that's a whole year of just planning everything. Yeah, so I went 2017 September.
So you get into China, your mother has convinced you. Now you are in a new place. Can you share with us what really happened in China, the major pointers in China?
Yeah,
was the transition very smooth?
No, it's not. No one should ever tell you like coming to a new country is easy.
I see.
It's not. One thing, you're going to a country where these people don't speak your language. Maybe like for me, I'm from Kenya, we speak Swahili, and no one in China can speak Swahili or English, like the official language. Like they can't speak English. All they know is Chinese. So for me, one thing, and this is something I have to say and warn people about airports. Yeah, I would like to talk about airports because I was scammed at the airport. Yeah,
At the Kenyan airport.
no, Chinese airport. When I Beijing, like, was it? No. I didn't land it. I was in Shanghai. Sorry, not Beijing. I landed in Shanghai. I don't remember the name of the airport. Maybe they can comment down if they know the airport in Shanghai.
So warn people.
Yeah. So I wanted to tell them that for me, when I got to the Shanghai airport, I got there late, very late, and
Late at around
11, 12 o'clock at night. Yeah. So the person who I was supposed to meet in China told me he sent me an address. So we were talking through WhatsApp. He sent me an address. He told me, go take a cab. This cab will take you all the way to this hotel, spend a night there, and then tomorrow you can come over to my place. So what happened is as I was just walking and I got to the airport, I decided, let me find a cab. And what happened is these taxi guys are very, very clever. So they take advantage that you don't speak Chinese, and you want, when you're in a new country, you want someone who can speak the same language as you. So he can speak English and you can speak English. You find, this guy, this guy is good. Yeah, he understands what I'm trying to say, because all the rest are just Chinese. So what happened at that time? When I was coming from home, I had $500 with me, and this guy, when I got there, this is my first time traveling. I've never traveled to another country before. I didn't know you have to change
the currency.
Money. Yeah, you change the currency to
Chinese.
The country
Chinese
you're in.
When?
Yen. So yuan. Yeah.
Yuan.
So I still had my dollars with me, and this guy told me, like, where you're going, you need $100. So let me tell you about that $100. At that time, I'm confused. I have jet lag, and another thing, I'm used to my country's currency. So we have 100 Kenyan shillings, which is very little money.
Okay.
It's like 10 cents dollars. It's less even than $1. So I was like, 100. So my mind was thinking like in Kenyan shillings. And I gave out this guy, I gave him the $100. And the place he took me from the airport to that hotel is less than 10 kilometers. Let's say 6.
And he took $100 from you?
He took $100. So that's how I got scammed. So anytime you're in an airport, you need, the first thing you get there, there's always somewhere to convert your money. Exchange. Take that currency from that country.
Okay.
So that it can help you later.
So now let's get into your story in China. Did you find it very smooth? You went there to teach. You had a Bachelor of Arts in Education.
Okay.
How did the journey go in China?
So what happened for me when I started my ESL journey, I started with a school, a center. It was like I was working for an agent. So this agent decided to tell me to come to that place. The place is called Henan in China. That's where I first landed my first job. I went to Henan, and during that time, it was around August, and in China they have a holiday, like a whole week. I can't remember the name of the holiday, but it's a
whole week celebration.
Yeah, it's a whole week like event, So when I got there, it was around that time, and this guy told me, you know what? Because you have never taught in Henan before, So I'll give you a week to practice, so that when you start, you have learned how to teach, learn to do
ESL.
1, 2, 3, yeah, everything. So man, I had a whole week. And another thing I forget to tell you is this guy gave me a 2 bedroom house, but you know that's the main problem. Like this house had nothing in. It's just a bed. You have a 2 bedroom house. You know what 2 bedroom house
Yeah, very
is?
big house.
Big. Can you imagine 2 bedroom house with nothing but a bed? Yeah, and your cooking stuff, you know. So when I got there, he gave me a week to practice.
Set up practice
Yeah,
and learn yourself.
and man, I practiced hard. Like I gave it my all. I would wake up, have an imaginary class.
Hello, kids.
Yeah, like I would talk to.
My name is Teacher Lucius. Today.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, something like that. Because I'd watch a lot of videos, and I would talk to my imaginary kids, like, "Hello, can you stand up, say your name?" You know, like my imaginary kids were very good. They were silent. They were, yeah, they were quite
They were
a good
responsive.
class, you know, and they would respond to me. It was a good environment, a good like with my imaginary kids.
In your imaginary.
Yes,
In your
in my
mind. Okay.
Yeah. So, man, I practiced. I did that for a whole week. Now it came to the day I have to go to school, and man, that's where everything just fell apart.
When you finally met the kids
Yeah,
from
yeah.
your imaginary class.
So I had my imaginary class, and now this is the real class. My imaginary class was very good. It was the best. Like that's the best class I've had, you know.
Uh-huh.
And now let me go to my real class. It was bad. The first thing, like I just walk in the class, the kids ran everywhere, shouting, crying, man. And imagine this class had, I think, a total of 11 kids or 12, and they are these small kids, 3, 4 years old.
Kindergarten.
Yeah, and can you imagine now they are crying, they are shouting. So this is a problem I hadn't faced in my imaginary class, you know. And now everything that I had learned during that time, it just
Went away
gone.
because all
gone.
the kids were crying.
Yeah, this is a problem I didn't anticipate, like at that time. So man, like getting into class, kids shouting, and I'm so confused. So the agent I had with me told me, "You just do your class, you know." And one thing that made this agent so mad. So I was teaching about animals, and we had a flashcard about this flying animal called a bird. So at that time I didn't have that. You know, for now I've taught a long time. I know how some words are said. So at that time I didn't know how to say these words. I didn't think that it was so important. Like in my mind, it was the concept, not the pronunciation.
Okay.
So I went there and said bad, and yeah. So this woman was like, just continue, and she didn't tell me at that time. That was good. I like that people don't correct you in class. You know, they'll correct you after. So I went and said bad. It's a bad. It's a bad. It's a bad. It's a bad. And I was shouting. You know, like I didn't know I was making a mistake at that time. You know, so when I finished the class, now I didn't finish. The class was 35 minutes. I did only 15. And this woman was like, "Let's go, Lucius." Yeah, time's up. Time's up. Man, you know, like when I was doing my imaginary class, I had a timer, and the timer I would time my class to be 35 minutes or 30 minutes, and I made sure I did all the 30 minutes. But now, in that class, I did 15, but I saw it was like a whole hour. You know, like when will I finish this class? I just want to get out. This is bad, you know.
What are some misconceptions about ESL?
So one thing people think like ESL is quite easy. It's not. It's not. It needs dedication and a lot of your time, because one thing people think, because back home when I tell people I'm a teacher, they think that I just go to class and just say table, chair, and then I'm out. It's not that simple. You have to prepare your class. You have a time limit. You don't have to go up, you don't have to go under. You have to be at that time limit. That's one of the misconceptions that people have about ESL, that it's easy. It's not easy. So we went to the agent, and the agent was like, man, Lucius, I can't help you anymore.
Really?
Yeah. I gave you a whole week to practice. I gave you all the materials you needed, but your class was so bad. Your pronunciation is bad. Yeah. So I think you just have to
Go back to Kenya.
What happened is I had someone who had brought me, a friend of mine. So he
Okay,
was telling me, you are like,
I can work
go
with
back
you again.
Yeah, I don't want you working for my
Center
company
again.
anymore. So go back. And man, I was confused. Man,
So 1 week for working in China, you were actually sacked.
yeah, like even it's not working. That was practicing. Yeah. So that took a toll on me. Man, I'm not a prayerful person. You know that, right? I'm not a prayerful person, but at that time, man, I prayed. I prayed a lot. I wanted, yeah, and fasted for a few days, man. I wanted that job because this is my first job. You want to belong somewhere. Because when I was at my friend's place, we had a few friends, and they would go and not come back. That like they've started working. It's okay with them. But now me, I'm being sacked within a week. Man, it was so bad. I got like it was, yeah, it was so bad. Yeah, and I tried talking with this agent. I even told him like, it's okay, we can go down on the salary. I'll take like this amount is okay for this amount of time. And she was like, no, I don't want you. You just go back
your way.
And she gave me some transport money, sent me on my way, like go back. So I was sacked.
Kicked you out of
the first job, man, is worse. It's like, let me tell you. And the problem is, that's why I always say you need to have a good support system. And my support system is basically at that time was my mom. So she told me, don't worry, you're not the first person to be sacked. A lot of people get sacked everywhere, like they got fired. You're not the first person. So what you need to do, don't look at that closed door. Now look forward and look for a new open door.
That's a great inspiration from your mom.
Yeah.
Being sacked from your first job.
Yeah. She was with me all the way, and that time, you have to eat, you have to buy like
yourself.
Yeah, and you see now I have no money. She was supporting
after
me.
being sacked, what happened? Mom sent money to you back to China?
Yeah, she sent me some money.
And what happened next?
So I went back to my friend's place, stayed there for like 2 weeks. Man, those 2 weeks was so bad. Yeah, because you just keep thinking, I lost my job. That's always on your mind. So when I got this new job,
in the same area?
No, now I went to a farther place.
So you moved from you moved from
I was in Henan. That was my first job.
Okay,
I went back to a place called Ningbo.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where my friend was. When I went back to Ningbo, I had to go now to another place. The name was what's this? Langfang.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very close to Beijing. But from Ningbo to Langfang, it's a very long journey, maybe 13 hours. Yeah, it's quite far. By train, that is. So I went to Langfang. Man, I've gone through my share part of problems, So can you imagine? I get to Langfang. I've been on a 13-hour train ride, I get there at around noon 2, 3 there, 3 o'clock. These guys don't give me even time to rest. I'm from the train station. I find those employers, my employers at that time, get in the car, go straight to have a class. Like you have not like I took a train.
Night train.
So you are sleeping, you just woke up, you're tired, you just wash your face, and the first thing that you get, go to class. These people haven't given you the class, like lesson preparation, what you need to teach, what, like, they don't have time for that. They just want to see. It's like a demo class now. Man, let me tell you, when I got to that class and I remembered I got fired from my first job, I gave it my all. I was tired. I was feeling like, like headache and all that, but I gave it my all. And I had my bags with me. So can you imagine? I went with my bags, my in class, put them like there, hung, and then started doing the class. So it was about colors, which was a bit simple, And I did that class very good, and they were so happy. So after that, I was taken to my room, which was quite far. So at that time, I used to work for 2 schools. So I worked for one school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday till afternoon, and the other one from afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. And that's how I got my first job. Although it was not paying well, I always say, don't look at when you're starting ESL, never look at the money. Never look at the money. Look at the experience you're going to get at that point, Look at the experience. You'll interact with different type of kids at that time. And this will help you gain experience. With time, you get experience. So that even when you go look for another job, you have an experience of ESL, of doing ESL classes,
Now you got a stable job, and then you got other jobs. Now you were earning well.
Man, it was not that easy as you're saying,
But you transformed.
Yeah, with
So
time,
did you move
time,
to another
time.
area in China or that same area?
So I stayed in Langfang for, I think, 6 months. No, man, not 6, 3.
Okay, 3 months.
Because we were going for the Lunar New Year, and the Lunar New Year is a very long holiday. So what happened is I used to sleep in the school. This is what people don't know. You're given like a room, and I'll add this. For those African people coming to these Asian countries, one thing we don't know is that there's winter here. There's winter, and very, very cold. Very cold. And my first time experiencing winter, I didn't have winter clothes. Man, and my room was not heated, so you can imagine I had to go buy a lot of jackets, socks, pants, underwears. Like, my first winter in China was not good. It was not good. It was so bad. And the school that I was in, man, it's something that it was so bad. My winter experience was so bad. Like, the toilets froze. The toilets froze. You cannot now use the toilet. You have to go out to the bush. I did that for like 2 months, 3 months when the winter started. So it was so bad during experience. My first winter experience was so bad.
So what got you moved to your second job in?
Yeah, my second job, what happened is when we went for Lunar New Year, I went to my friend's place because I couldn't stay in the school. They said they cannot pay for electricity and stuff when I'm still there. So I found another place to stay with a friend of mine. It was in a place called Guangzhou. It's also far, maybe 23 hours by train. I went there, stayed there for the 1 month holiday, the lunar holiday. After that, when the schools open, for me, I thought, I have my job. Let me go back to my job. The schools are open. Let me go back. So man, as I was going back, I got to after the 23 hours train ride, I get to the train station for my place of work, and I call up my employer and I was like, "Oh, I'm already here. Do you have the key to the school?" And he was like, "You know what? We found another teacher."
They didn't tell no notice.
Nothing. So that you know how people, man, if I was to give up at that point, I would have given up. Yeah. So he called me and told me, "We don't want you anymore.
Wow, that was just
No more.
it.
Just that. Don't come back." Good thing I had taken all my belongings. I had my suitcase, everything. I had them when I went to my friend. Man, like that brought me down.
Again.
Yeah. I was like, now this is the second time I have no job. And I had depended on, like, I left that place knowing I'm coming to work. And then this guy just tells me, "No, we don't want you. We found someone else. You just go."
So how do you find out the next job?
So what happened is, I at that time I had to look for friends around that area who can help me, like, with a place to stay. And it took some time because I had to sleep in the train station for like a week or so. Yeah, just
You slept in a train station.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
China.
in China.
Which train station?
the Langfang.
How were you sleeping?
So what happens? What happens is I had my luggage and everything. Good thing about the train station there, they have water, they have bathrooms,
Okay.
and then there are fast food restaurants, you know, like McDonald's, KFC. So what used to happen is, you know, there's some waiting chairs. Yeah, as you're waiting for your train. So what I used to do is, at around I would wake up at around 6, go out to a fast food restaurant with my bags and everything, stay there. They have Wi-Fi, they have a place to charge your phone. Just stay there, drink breakfast. After that, move, walk around, come back, have lunch, around again, have dinner, and now get in the train station.
To sleep.
Now
For 1 week.
for a week I did that
And
at the
then
train
you
station.
moved to-
Like, even it got to a point like the security guards knew me. They knew, "Oh, this is a foreigner. Here is your bed." Like the chair, it was there for me. This is where I sleep. Like I knew this
Man.
is. I put my bags under the chair, just sleep, you know, and some clothes, maybe a jacket, just as a pillow.
Before you found a friend to go and stay with again.
Yeah. Before I found, like,
And
I
that
was
was-
asking like every day,
Yeah.
"Man, if you're around this place, come help me. I need a place to stay. I'm at the train station. Anyone who's willing to help, just help me out for a few days before I get a job." And funny thing, a lady is the one who told me, "You know what? Come stay at my place." And I stayed at a place for how long? I think 2 weeks. And another thing, for those guys who wants to go to China, I don't know why African people don't like helping other African people. So what happened to me is my countrymate told me there's a job. I've heard of a job. You want a job? Yes. I want a job. I want a job. I have no job. He told me, "What you'll do, you have to send me 1,000 Chinese yuan if you want this job." I'm like, wow. You want me to give you money and you know I'm not working. Where do you expect the money to come from? It's like, if you're in need of this job, give me 1,000 and then I'll connect you with the employer so that you can go. So what I had to talk with this guy, I told him, "You know what? I'll pay you half." Because I was desperate at that time. I have not been working and I feel so bad just staying at home. And this woman, the lady that I was staying with, is the one that buys everything, you know? Being like under a woman it's not something that someone is proud of. Like, you depend on her. And this a stranger, you know?
She was not a Kenyan.
She was Kenyan, but I don't know her. You know, it's not like you know everyone, you know?
Yeah, got that.
So
You paid the guy $500, 500 Chinese yuan.
no, I paid him 250.
Okay.
I told him this, and I had to take a debt from this lady. I told her, "Man, just help me with 250 so that I can get this job." So I told this guy, I'll give you 250, and when I start working, I'll pay you the rest when I get paid. And he was not happy about that, but he just told me, "You can just go try your luck. This is the employer's number, his contact. Talk to him." And that's when he sent me the contact. And then I went to a place called Fuyang. So this place, when I went there, this guy, I went, did a demo, but this guy was not happy. He told me, "Do you speak Chinese?" I'm like, "No, I'm not even. This is like my 7th or 8th month in China, so I cannot speak Chinese." He's like, "You cannot speak Chinese?" "Yeah, I can't." So if you cannot speak, for me, I prefer teachers who speak Chinese and English, fluent Chinese, fluent Chinese. So I couldn't speak fluent Chinese. He told me, "So I'll have to deduct your salary because you cannot speak Chinese. I want someone who can speak Chinese." And the money he was giving me was even ridiculous. You cannot work for that amount of money. So I just told him, "You know what? I quit." I just knew, like, there's something. I cannot take, he was offering, if you can translate 3,000 Chinese yuan, that's very little money. That's even less than 500. That's $400 or something, if I'm not wrong. So I decided I won't take that job. And this is where now the curve comes in. The moment I decided to quit this job, 2 days later, an employer reached out to me.
2 days
After I quit. And when I quit, I had to find somewhere to stay. So I went on another friend, stay there.
You left the lady?
Yeah. So from the lady's place in Langfang to Fuyang, it's quite far. So now I'm in Fuyang.
Okay.
I have quit my job and I found someone to stay with, So 2 days later, my employer, reached out. And this employer,
where? On
so I had posted that I need a job.
On WeChat.
Yeah, on WeChat. That's the Chinese
platform.
Yeah. So I had posted I want a job, and this agent saw it, and she told me, "Can you come by the end of this week?" I'm like, even today I can be on the train coming. And this lady, I usually say I'm very thankful for her. She helped me when I was down. She's the one who helped me get up. Like,
so you took the train that day?
She sent me money for the transport from where I was to where I'm going to work. She
Before
sent
that,
me.
what happened to your friend that you owe? The one who had got paid 250 Chinese yuan.
That guy.
You didn't pay the rest?
I told him I quit, and I was I quit. I need my money back. You didn't help me, and this guy had to block me. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's one thing I usually say. Don't always trust your country mates. Don't trust them. Don't give them that trust that you think they just need. They think good of you. No.
Okay,
Some are just evil.
Okay, so now she sent you money to go back to where she was. You got there. What happened?
So that's, when I went to that place, from that point, I stayed in that place until the time I left China. And I went there at around 2018.
Wow.
So that that place was the best.
What were some of the good times?
So I'll tell you first what happened is, in China, when you are going to a new place to work, China is very strict. So you ask your friends, "Man, is it safe to work in this area?" And all my friends just let me down. They were like, "If you go to this place, I'm giving you 2 weeks. You'll be on the plane back to Kenya. Just 2 weeks or a month. I'll give you a month at most. That place is very hot with you know, this
Security checks
security
and-
checks and everything. It's very hot. But man, I had no option, you know.
And that became a blessing.
Yeah.
Because if you had an option, you would have.
I would have chosen another
Yeah, but you
another
didn't have any
path.
option.
So I didn't have another option rather than just to take
Right.
this opportunity I got. So I went, and man, that's the best. Like for me, that's the best place. The best place. I went to Datong. It's a place called Datong, and this woman was very good. Got me a very nice home. I was given a week to just, you know, we were two. We were living, me and a Cameroonian guy. And he told me, take this week, just go with him, see how he teaches, you know. And then when I started my class, it was easy because I had already taught, you know. So it was just smooth, smooth, smooth. And that's where I met friends that I have till date in that place. It was so good. It was so good.
And you made some good money.
Yeah, with time. So the first year I was there, I used to work for the agent. With time I got to understand how
This work.
work around there. I went to a training center, got some good money, started a part-time, got some good money, and man, from there it was just,
So in total,
Up,
how long
up.
did you stay in China?
in total I stayed in China for like 5 years.
Okay.
4 years in that place, in that home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you are now here in Vietnam.
Now I'm in Vietnam.
So how was that journey here in Vietnam?
So after China, I had two places to choose. It was either Thailand or Vietnam. And the first opportunity I got was from Vietnam. So I decided, let me, you know, and I had a lot of good praises about this place. So I decided, let me go and try my luck, you know,
So
in
what is
Vietnam.
your experience in Vietnam? If you can make a little.
Yeah, so in Vietnam, one thing I can say, it's visa friendly. It's a visa friendly place, provided you have the right documents and the right person, because some people get thrown out, you know. Like if you get the right person who's honest and you have everything that is needed for your visa, this place is the best. This place is the best compared to China. Yes.
And what about the salary comparing here to China?
The salary is not good, but I prefer freedom than the finance side. The freedom I have here cannot be compared like in China. I didn't have that type of freedom, you know. Like now you can buy a bike, you can go around, you can visit anywhere. You can just wake up one day when you're free, like on holiday, just decide, I'm going to Hanoi, I'm going to Saigon. That freedom you have, like in Vietnam, is something for me I value the most. I don't care about even though the money is quite low, it's better than staying somewhere you're earning a lot but you're not going anywhere.
What are some misconceptions about ESL?
So one thing, people think like ESL is quite easy. It's not. It needs dedication and a lot of your time, you know. Because one thing people think, because back home when I tell people I'm a teacher, they think that I just go to class and just say table, chair, and then I'm out. It's not that simple. You know, you have to prepare your class. You have a time limit. You don't have to go up. You don't have to go under. You have to be at that time limit, you know. That's one of the misconceptions that people have about ESL, that it's easy. It's not. It's not easy. It also requires that extra effort. For me, I think that's one of the major things. Yeah.
I think in addition to the normal teaching, you still have to teach and make kids happy.
Yeah.
Entertain kids whilst teaching.
Yeah, and that's why I'm telling you, it needs extra.
So that means if you are somebody who is so down,
One thing, ESL needs a childish person.
ESL
If you're dealing with kids, you have to be like a child. So that means you're childish.
Okay.
So that you can interact with them. You cannot just go there and you're just angry, you know, with the kids. You have to play, you have to jump, you have to So that thing that you do there, you don't have to be like so serious with them. You have to be like a child when you're dealing with small kids.
Get to their level.
Yeah, get to their level. If you're dealing with the older kids, get to their level.
Okay.
Every level of education, like we have the kindergarten, we have this
Primary,
primary,
we have secondary,
yeah,
high school.
every level you have to go with their level. Yeah, when you just enter, you will just, the atmosphere will tell you this class needs this, they need games, or this class is a serious class, they just want to learn. It's not about games, they want to learn. That's their major thing they want to do.
So apart from your qualification that you got from the university,
Okay.
what other qualifications do you get in addition before
Yeah.
you could teach? And if somebody who wants to come here, what qualification does the person need?
So one thing, the degree is a very huge factor. Another thing is TESOL.
Teaching English to speakers
Yeah.
of other languages.
Yeah. So you need those certificates. And another thing that I didn't know that I needed till I came to Vietnam is the C1. Yeah, it's a C1. I didn't know that I needed C1 to teach until I came to Vietnam. So you need those. And also, one thing that people don't talk about it is the good conduct. You know, like you have not done any crime. Yeah. You need. That's one of the things that is, people don't talk about that, but it's one of the major things. You cannot just go and you have been jailed for like 3 years in your country and you expect to get a job in ESL. No,
You can't.
You
should have a
can't.
clean criminal record.
clean criminal record. That's
Okay.
one thing that people don't talk about.
Okay. So one thing I want to ask is that you've been an ESL teacher for at least 6 years.
6 years
from
now.
China up
Yeah.
to this point.
Yep.
If you and so you said when you enter into a kindergarten, kids were just crying and shouting and screaming because they have not seen a dark
a
teacher
black
before,
person,
a black
yeah.
person before. Now with your experience,
Okay.
if you enter a class, because it still happens.
Yeah, it still
happened
happens.
to me.
Mm.
If you happen to a class and they see you and they have not seen a black person before, they are shouting, they are crying. How do you go about it?
So one thing I usually say whenever you're going to a new class, first impressions are everything. First impression. How will you leave the kids thinking about you? You know, like that first impression will decide how this class will be.
Okay.
So the first impression, you need to have gifts like stickers, you know, take as much as you can. Like stickers is one of the main things. One thing I usually advise people, don't go with food stuff. Don't go with like sweets. Don't go with cookies. Don't go with food stuff, because you might give one kid and the mother is like, my kid doesn't eat sweets, you know, my kid doesn't eat bread, so it will be something bad that you have done. So just give them toys, things that they don't have to eat, something that they just use.
Happy.
Yeah.
We have some stickers that you can just stamp on their
Yeah.
hands.
That's better, that rather than going with candy, cookies or something. Never do that. It's something I try to avoid. So every class, when you see the kids crying, don't get shocked. It's something happens.
normal.
It's their first time seeing you. So try to be as rewarding as possible. If just one of the kids comes and say hello, give them a sticker. Even don't give them one, give them 5. Yeah, so that they can be very happy. They'll be, oh, I want more stickers. And you find the other kids will see, oh, this kid is saying hello and is being given 5 stickers. I also want 5 stickers.
I
Let
would
me
say
count.
get 10.
Hello, and then
You give.
yeah. So it's something, you just need to have that child psychology, you know. Just understand. You know, with kids, it's a competition. So when they see this, oh, this one has got this, I also want, let me go and try, and I want more. And with that, you find the kids interact with you more, and with time, you don't even have to give them stickers. They're already used. You have just that positive atmosphere with them. One thing I would like to tell anyone who wants to try ESL, first, you have to have that dedication and passion when you start ESL. And sometimes it's hard when you just get a place and you have that passion and dedication. With time, it will just come out well. But I always say in ESL, the positives are more than negative. Negative, you find maybe a kid will call you some bad name. It's no big deal. He's just a kid, you know, he doesn't know. You find your employer starts doing some things, you know, like trying to cut your money, giving you less hours. But the positive, for me, what makes me happy whenever I'm doing ESL classes, seeing that this kid could not speak and now can speak and, you know, can express himself in English. You know, it's something that's for me. It's always like very high before class. Even though you know the words, no problem. You know this is a cup. Just confirm, because you know we have the British and American English. Just listen. If any word has a problem, try. Go to Google Translate. Go to YouTube. Check how does this word how is it pronounced. Always, like, beforehand, prepare your class. Even though you know it, do it again. Yeah, that's one thing most people don't check, like pronunciation. Whenever you have a class, every new word, listen 2-3 times, practice how to say it, so that when you go and teach, you don't make that mistake of saying what is not supposed to be said. You know, I told you, like, for me, I said bad, and that's, I think, that's one of the factors
that you are sad.
that
So now how do you
got me
say?
fired.
How do you say that word?
Bird.
You mean bird?
Yeah,
Bird.
yeah, it's a bird.
That's the American way of pronouncing.
Yeah.
One of the British way is bird.
Yeah, but these guys weren't American.
Oh.
You know, in China, everyone will tell you they want American English. No one will tell you we think British English. No, everyone wants American English.
So you when mentioning the British, when you think you are not good.
Yeah, they think it's not. You know, most of them. One thing you have to understand with, I would say, I've not seen this in Vietnam, but with Chinese people, they watch a lot of Hollywood movies, and once they watch that and they listen how these guys speak, they want. I also want to speak like this guy. That's why most people want to do English. They want to have that American accent, you know, because they've had it from the movies. And when you don't sound like the movies, they will say you're not.
You don't speak well.
Yeah,
You
your language not good. Yeah, most people don't like take time to find games to do classes. And you know, with small kids, you need to have a lot of games. Like now, for me, the games I have in my head are so many that whenever I just get in a class, you know, like I know with this lesson, this game and this game and this game will work out just fine, you know. So you need to have that. Even with the older kids, secondary school kids, they have their own types of games where you don't have to need like caps. You don't need materials. There's type of games that are just, you know,
for them to
to think. Yeah. So every time you need to have like games. Games is a good way, and it makes learning more easier.
That's a very good one. What do you have to say to your others or teachers or anything you want to send to your young people?
Any teacher who wants to try ESL, yeah, I think with this type of work you need, as always, I'll repeat, dedication. Yeah, and never take everything to heart. And also, coming to a new country, try to learn a little bit about what happens there. You know, like before coming to Vietnam, I had to see and watch a lot of videos about Vietnam. You know, just have a clue of what you're coming to
Do here.
You know. Yeah, try to always do your investigations before going to a new place. And also with schools, you have to be careful with which school you're working for. There are schools that don't pay. You know, you've had it like here in Vietnam. We have some very bad schools
And
that
guys, with
people.
the mention of that, I have a video on that schools that you should watch out for.
Yeah. You should try to avoid this type of schools. And if you don't do that, you don't do your prior investigation, you just end up working for them because they have very nice deals. And you think, man, I'll earn a lot of money working for this place. And when you get there, the first month is just disappointment.
Yeah. Guys, it's been, a lengthy discussion today about teacher Lucius, and I think watching this video, you are going to be blessed. So, guys, don't forget to smash that subscription bell, smash the like notification bell, and follow the page and like the videos, guys. Until we meet again, thanks for watching. It's a bye for today.